like big challenge against Fremantle, won 7 of their last 8. What have you made of the Dockers' form in the run-in?
Yeah, actually, I think at one stage they'd won every game since we played them way back. So no, they're in good form. Their clearance game is always one that you got to watch, and then you got the best players playing well. So it'll be a real challenge for us.
How do you assess Friday night? So it's a while ago now. It's a slow start. You come home really strong, and every chance of knocking off one of the top.
Yeah. Look, we've had a bit of a mixed week this week. We've got a 9-day break, which is quite strange this time of year. So players haven't been in here a lot, but. In terms of reflection on that game in particular, that's just wrapped in the way we finished the game. If we play that style of footy, our fans will love that. There's an excitement when you watch us play that version of us. And we're really hard to play against and kept an opposition, a really good opposition, to only a handful of goals in the second half. So lots of positives, I thought.
A couple of your key contributors didn't play, and Brodie and Patrick. You welcoming them back this week?
Yeah. Brodie will play, and Paddy will play. At this stage, I think that's the only 2 inclusions at the moment. Got a couple other things happening behind the scenes, and see how we go.
It's good to see Bobby out there. So you want to get a training block into him? Is that the plan moving forward? Yeah, spot on. Like he's missed 3 or 4 weeks of training now, so this is his first full week of doing most of the sessions. So we're wrapped to have him back around the place, see him smiling in the meetings, and he's an infectious character. And we intend to get some load into it now. What that looks like, ideally, he gets another week of training in and see where that lands. How's it going?
Today, I was really happy with seeing the smile on his face. I haven't seen him for 3 or 4 days, maybe even a bit longer. So he looks better today.
Does the loss sharpen the focus? Does it put a bit of fire back in the belly? What sort of effect does it have on the playing group?
Yeah, all of that. I think you'd be naive to think you can. Just roll out in this competition week after week and think you're going to get everything served up to you the way you want it. So we got served a pretty ugly meal at the start of the first part of this game, particularly the half time without scoring a goal. A little wake up call. I'd like to think that, like I said at the start, there's a lot of things in this game that we think will serve us well at another time when needed. And whether it's coming from behind to get up and then fight for every inch we need to in every minute we have in the games. But I'd like to think the pencil will be a bit sharper this week.
How do you go about covering Houston and Howe, 2 really important guys in the back half?
Challenging. Our back line has been pretty stable for most of the year. So, Howie out has been incredible for us this year, and then Dan's playing a pivotal role for us. So we're going to find magnets to replace those. But as we've said all year, we're a system-based team, and we haven't relied on any one individual. We rely on a collective. So ideally, we'll pick guys that come in and do their job.
How does their absence affect Josh Dacos' role? Obviously, it would be pretty tempting to just throw him back in the middle where he had that last quarter.
Yeah, I think everyone in the footy world will be wondering where he starts this week. With Dan out, a bit challenging to keep him out of the back line for major parts. But I think also we'd be silly not to explore what that looks like, whether it's this week or going forward. He's had such a remarkable impact on the game. I remember saying to him in the third quarter, Josh, you ready to go in the midfield? And he jumped up before I even made the decision. He's on the boundary. I said, Josh, come back, mate. We haven't even rotated yet. He was that eager to get in there, and he put his real stamp on the game. It was fantastic.
He's shown himself as an elite half-backer, elite wingman. We've seen maybe a little bit of him generally through the midfield, but did you know that he had that level in him as an inside man?
Well, he's got an elite talent, and he's got to the level of the game now that he's an elite talent in the game. I don't think he could. I honestly think he could play him anywhere and it would have an impact. It's about what the team needs, what the team needs for Josh's best skill sets, and this week we might need him a bit back and maybe a bit in the midst and a bit in the wing. But geez, it's a nice thought to have that you can play him in multiple positions.
How close is Harry Dempsey to potentially playing back on?
Yeah, challenging one, Harry. I'm having constant conversations with him because he's got to get in front of Pendlebury, Sidebottom, Crisp, Ned Long, and now Tom Mitchell's come along, and so there's a challenge. He's well aware where he sits on it. He can only control what he can, and to credit to the young man, he just keeps turning up.
How's Gary McRae going?
Did you watch training today? He was outstanding, and I'm really excited to have Bo back. He was touch and go last week. We chose to get a bit more load into him over the weekend, so Bo will play and bring back that customary chase and pressure which we've missed in the last month. I'm surprised not many have talked about us as a forward line without Schultz, McCreary and Bobby Hill. It's been a challenge for us to put the same amount of pressure on, and looking forward to having Bo back to to play along shorts this week.
And up the other end, what about Billy Fremantle?
Billy won't play this week. We'll just again monitor him over the weekend and progress towards next week. Fingers crossed he'll be available next week, but we'll have to wait and see.
Fly, just in lieu of today's Herald Sun front page, do you have a view on sort of privacy for ex-footballers and footballers in the public sector, like surveillance and things like that?
Oh, geez, I haven't given that much thought, to be honest. In what regards that? I haven't
Well,
seen.
does there need to be more respect paid to footballers and ex-footballers in the public space with mobile phones and the public?
Oh, geez, I understand when you sign up for this job, you just look around, how many people are filming now, that this is a public role. So I go to Bunnings with a different feel these days, and I understand the position that it is, and the players are the same. It's a challenging, to have some privacy. Like, can you just let me go to Bunnings and just get the sausage for myself? But I love you guys. I love you. So there's a balance of that, isn't it? Like, you got to give and take. And so in terms of the privacy, we're human, so there's always grey, isn't there? Without answering the question entirely how you asked it, I think there's always grey in that. Hard to be private in a public role, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Craig, what have you made of since Sean Darcy's come back from injury, his partnership with Luke Jackson? In the last couple of weeks, I think in the scoreboard, they've been stepping up in big moments, like battling two genuine gun rugby. How difficult is that?
Yeah, it's a challenge because you sort of replace one with the other, and that puts less load on Jackson. Jackson's able to play as a mid at times. His numbers stack up with the best in the competition right now in any measuring. So we got our own version of that. We're pretty happy with the way Darcy Cameron's been playing this year and marking the ball. I think he marks the ball better than anyone else in the competition as a ruck. So it's going to be a good challenge, that one.
There's a stat rolling around. I think when Caleb Sarong has over 25 disposals, Fremantle win every game. And obviously, it's not all based around one player, but the idea of choosing to lock down on Caleb versus not, and it seems to be when he gets shut down that Fremantle are a bit more beatable. So how much do you take that into account?
Well, I'm not sure beatable just for one person. Again, they've got a lot of talent. If you just consume yourself in one, tagging is difficult because it ties yourself in knots, and we're well aware of that because we see opposition do that to Nick, and see what it costs and the reward of that. But we'll have to have a plan around that, what that looks like, and we'll be aiming to keep him to 24 possessions.
Nick looked a little bit sore during the Gold Coast game. Are you sort of wary of managing him at the moment, and is there a world where you'd consider resting him in the run home?
Yeah, your eyes are real. Like the facts were he looks sore, and the GPS says that, and he's getting beaten up a bit, but that's part of the job, isn't it? And we're consciously doing that all the time. We're looking at his loads at training. This is the first session he's done this week. Getting him through a session, and it's hard to keep him out though. Like you say, what about maybe playing sub? Nah. What about starting the bench? It's a challenge to keep one of the best players off the field. But we're very conscious of his loads.
I just wanted to ask you about something that Kane Collins mentioned on Monday night. I'm sure if you saw it, he spoke about the fact that there are some players on the team, say Pendlebury going for the games record potentially, Nick hoping for a Brownlow, Jamie Elliott All Australian, Jack Triss with his consecutive games record, and perhaps there being some confliction between individual records and what's best for the team, whether they need a rest or those sort of things. What did you hear those?
No, I don't. I love you guys, but I don't watch anything, and I don't read the papers. But I still enjoy your work, especially once a week here. But I haven't heard any of those comments. But it is fascinating because I've had a conversation with Jack Triss about this. That the record is one thing, but him being fit and well for the finals is another. And so if there ever is a grey, we're on the side of what's best for the team. And this group right now is so invested in others and invested in the team, and they'll be willing to do things. So I've had constant conversation with Pendles and Steele and Howie and others about what's best for them when we need them most. And I'm not saying we don't need them most this week, but we certainly have conversations deeper than just how you feeling and what's going on, mate, how you playing. The team comes first here.
Any other changes confirmed this week?
No, we've got match committee now to work out who's going to replace Howie and Dan Houston down back, and there may be some players get opportunities, or we might try something different. We'll just have to wait and see on that.